right, I want to ask, will Trumpenstien ever throw Navarro under the bus? Will he ever throw Navarro under the bus? Navarro is the one that's convinced him of the tariffs, that they're so fabulous. You know, that's his expert. That's his expert on tariffs. So I'm just going to do the quick clarification read, and let's just see what it's going to say. What about Navarro? You know, Trump's big expert. So let's see what we have. At the center of it, there's an agreement. When it comes to a victory, of restrictions, okay? So it looks like, you know, this was right up Trump's alley, okay? It didn't take much convincing for Navarro to convince Trump of the tariff situation, because apparently they both thought this would be a great thing to do, okay? So let's see what we have. When it comes to a victory and an agreement, new truth is coming out, okay? With the agreement with the restrictions, it's about that pulling back, okay? Bringing all those things to rest. And endings, okay? Endings, new truth, endings. Okay, pulling back these restrictions. So victory, new truth coming out. Again, we look at this and it's figuring out the next move. Trying to navigate through this time. And rapidly ending some things. Let's see, the lid is off. We have the warrior for truth here. A message about a new action when it comes to the White House. And the harvest of money, okay? The harvest of money. So with the harvest of money driving all of this, there's an agreement rapidly about endings, figuring out the next move with information coming out about a victory. The lid is off, the message about the actions, trying to navigate through these waters of the restrictions and this pushback of the warring White House. So it doesn't look like so much that Trump is going to back off, okay, with this. He may be forced to back off on some of this, but his heart is with Navarro on this 100% when it comes to the not liking the harvest, okay? They're in an agreement rapidly now about some ending. Now I'm wondering, this ending, going forward, the pushback, retreat, when it comes to these obstructions and the fight of the White House, the doors opening with new truth of a victory when it comes to the message of action and the lid being off. The lid being off. I want to pull another thing about this ending. What about this ending? Ending. Ending being in control of the action. This ending of being in control of the action. I want to pull into clarification on this pushback. The evidence is in hand about the monetary thing. Okay? So trying to navigate through with these restrictions in the warrior White House. You know, he's not going to like having to pull back on these tariffs because it makes him look weak, but he's going to have no other option, okay? He's going to have no other option with this. I don't see him rapidly agreement when it comes to ending this standing in power. I'm trying to figure out if this is an ending of Navarro or just the ending of them being able to continue to put this forward. Because the message, new information, strong information, truth about figuring out what to do next for a victory, with the lid off and the message about the actions. What's hidden, the pushback, retreating when it comes to holding on to the money, retreating that money, figuring out the way forward on these restrictions when it comes to the White House and the fighting. Okay? Well, it looks like, you know, they're going to have no choice but to pull back on these tariff things, but it doesn't look like he's ready to throw Navarro under the bus because his heart is right there with Navarro, still being convinced that this is the way forward, is what it looks like. I'm trying to think of another way I can ask this. I'm going to ask what's going on with she, okay? Now, Trumpenstien says, oh, I was in communications with she, and she is saying, no, we're not in communication, okay? So let's look at she. So let's see the clarification when it comes to she. In the center of it is figuring out the next move. Okay, to open this up, the fight, the burden of the fight is going to continue to do the fight. It's not easy, but they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop when it comes to the White House. Yeah, so she is trying to figure out the next move. He's feeling very burdened when it comes to the White House, dealing with them, okay? But he is not going to pull back from the fight. Okay, when it comes to these restrictions, when it comes to this, you know, he's just kind of resting with it because they don't want to take in the truth. The White House blocks, doesn't want to take into it. He's just not, I'm not dealing with Trumpenstien, okay? I'm not, okay? He's mad. Trumpenstien is crazy, okay? And I'm just, you know, no, talk to the hand, basically, because Trump doesn't listen to anything. He blocks it. He's the one that started this. He's the one that blocked it. I'm telling him, talk to the hand. You know, he would like to have some relief on this, but he's got the message he's putting out there about who's actually in control, okay? About controlling this. And the one that controlled this, the one that started this, is his insanity. It's like she is saying, you brought this on yourself, okay? So we have rapidly trying to figure a way forward because, you know, the harvest, rapidly what's coming down, it's not good for either side, and there's a message about an action on how to move forward. But again, Trump's got him over a barrel. This is about his desires. She is in control of this now. Okay? Let me toast you, you fool. Okay? And I'll figure out how we're going to go forward. Okay? She is in the driver's seat with this. Okay? Because he's the one that's got the power. He's the one that's going to control the action against Trump, because Trump is crazy. He's saying you are absolutely crazy. He's looking for relief. He's just, at this point, kind of resting with it. He's tired of dealing with the struggle with Trumpenstien and his insanity, and where this is rapidly going forward, not liking the harvest. Okay? So he's got a message which Trump doesn't want to hear about the actions and how they're going to move forward. Okay? Because again, she is in the driver's seat. Okay? Let me toast you, you fool. Okay? Do you like what you're getting now? Do you like it? So Trump can sit there and say all he wants, that he's talking to she and she wants to make a deal, and Nope. Now this is hurting she too. It's not great for China. But they can hold off. They're more into the long game than is Trump. Okay, Trump is not in for the long game. Absolutely not. But she has got him over a barrel. So on that note, I'll leave that here. Oh, you're so brilliant, Trump. Yeah. You and your great advisor, Navarro. Yeah. Just look what you can do. Why am I getting Stewart in there? Look what I can do. Look what I can do.